So I want to talk about this clip that has been gaining some traction and kind of been going viral online recently, and that is a clip from Joe Rogan. And, I find it interesting how Democrats can go out here and protest no kings and do all the nonsense, even though the fact that they're able to protest, no kings proves that there isn't a king, because if there was, they wouldn't be allowed to protest, have a no kings protest. But, they're always talking about how Trump is a dictator and all of this other stuff, and he wants to be, Putin or whatever else. But in actuality, it's really Democrats. And I want to dive into it a little bit more and show you guys genuinely how close we were to losing it all and becoming basically the UK. And we know how terrible it is over there. So with that being said, I want to jump into this Joe Rogan clip and let him tell you kind of what happened during the Biden administration. Check it out.
The position that I was in during the COVID thing was very unique. So it was almost easy for me because I'd gotten such a head start. I was so far ahead of them. They didn't realize that my ability to say, wait, this doesn't make any sense. Like, none of this makes any sense. And also, why am I green? And also, why are you guys lying? Why are you lying about all sorts of different things? Why are you measuring troponin levels when you're talking about myocarditis and not the actual scans of people's hearts when you realize like young people are getting legitimately fucked up from this vaccine? Not all of them, but some of them. Why aren't you looking at that? How come you guys aren't looking at vaccine injuries? It seems like a significant thing that people are talking about. You got soccer players dropping dead in the middle of the field, and no one's bringing that up? You're trying to gaslight us into thinking that doesn't make any sense? I was in a unique position to be able to do that because I had almost quietly snuck up to this and had this large audience that they weren't aware of.
Yeah.
So when it happened, it was just like I couldn't do anything other than what I did. I had to just keep doing it the way I did it. And the blowback was crazy. They tried to crush my sponsors. They organized campaigns. There was PACs involved. There was
Really?
Oh yeah. Thank God I was on Spotify. And thank God Spotify is not an American company. And also it helped that I was number 1 in 90 countries and not number 90 in one country.
Yeah.
That helped.
Yeah.
That helped a lot. The size of it was so big that as big as they were, they're like, oh. And then there's the Streisand thing. Like, you try to silence something, you're just going to make it bigger. If they had kicked me off of Spotify and I had to go to Rumble, it would have just blown Rumble's stock up, and it would have helped everybody.
Yeah. I didn't know that there was that much going on in your life.
I can't even talk about it, but there was presidents involved and former presidents involved that were contacting Spotify. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, yeah, trying to get me removed for vaccine misinformation. Yeah.
Wow. And
that turned out to be right. All of it. Not a single apologize.
Interviewing the dude that invented mRNA.
Oh, yeah.
And the most published doctor in his field.
Not a single apology. Not a single apology from anybody. Not a single retraction. Not a single, mea culpa. Not a single we were wrong. And I lost a lot of sponsors. I lost a lot during those days. It was interesting. There was a time where it was working.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was that much coordination.
Oh, there was a
I just
lot
thought
of coordination.
People are going to be.
I don't talk about it too much because it's pretty deep. It was nuts, but it didn't work, right? But they tried, and they tried it out. They spent a lot of money. A lot of money. It wasn't a small amount of money. It wasn't a small amount of people. It was a lot of people and a lot of money.
Good Lord.
Yeah. That part was spooky. But the turning my face green was hilarious. That didn't bother me
That's
at all.
good.
It's also, I'm a comedian. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a talker. Like, that's what I do. If you talk to me, it's like, you're not going to hurt my feelings that much. It's like, I'm used to it. It's normal. It's a part of the game that I play. So, especially if you're doing it and there's a video that's the real video that's available for anybody that goes on my Instagram page, like Like, what do you,
It is crazy.
It's a stupid checker move. It's so dumb.
Crazy, huh? Crazy. A president and former presidents were all working together to try to get Joe Rogan banned because he was saying things that they didn't like. He wasn't going along with the program. He wasn't convincing people, hey, go get the splooge put in your arm. You know, as he was talking, I was thinking, remember the hantavirus? Remember, like, for a few days there, oh, hantavirus, there was a ship and all these people were infected, and, you know, before they figured it out, they dropped all of the, people exited the ship, and now we're trying to trace, quarantine, and hantavirus is super, super dangerous because of the death rate. Remember that? And remember the reaction from a lot of folks saying, hell no, we aren't doing the quarantine again. At least from everything that I was seeing, there was a lot of folks saying that. And then all of a sudden, all of the talk from mainstream media of this hantavirus just disappeared. It just vanished. It's almost as if they were like, let's see if we can get them again. We're not going to push it as hard, but we just to test, just to see if they'll fall for it. If we still can make them do what we want them to do. And when it didn't work, all of the talk just disappeared. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm crazy. That may be true. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section, but I swear, like, the talk just disappeared. Once everybody was basically in consensus and was like, no, we're not doing the whole quarantine again. We aren't going back to the mask, blah, blah, blah. We aren't getting this new shot. Done. We ain't doing it. All of the talk just disappeared. Just vanished. Y'all let me know. Let me know. But yeah, as you heard there from Joe Rogan as well, they were spending money to try to get him banned for just speaking his mind. Crazy, right? Not to mention, they banned a sitting president off of social media. That happened. And I think a lot of people forget about the fact that happened. Banning a sitting president is just absolutely crazy. But now I want to play this clip from Josh Hawley, Senate Republican Josh Hawley, about Mark Zuckerberg and what was going on with Facebook in terms of the censorship under the Biden administration. We came really dangerously close to losing our First Amendment. Check it out.
Now, you said earlier this year that you disbanded the Disinformation Governance Board, which I thought was totally unconstitutional, but that turns out to be, at best, misleading. That's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what you're doing. Your own quadrennial review, which was just reported in the press, says that disinformation is going to be the new focus at DHS. The Quad Review says that DHS plans to target, I'm quoting now, inaccurate information domestically on a wide array of subjects, including, quoting, the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic, the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines, racial justice, U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and the nature of U.S. support for Ukraine. A federal judge has just found as a finding of fact, Mr. Secretary, that your office, and I'm going to quote now, is supervising the nerve center of federally directed censorship. Here's another email, August 20th, 2021. Facebook writes again to HHS and highlights that Facebook is increasing the strength of our demotions for COVID and vaccine-related content. April 16th, 2021, Rob Flaherty at the White House circulates a Zoom meeting invitation to Twitter employees stating White House staff will be briefed by Twitter on vaccine misinformation. We have example after example of this administration coordinated, apparently, according to a federal court, by your agency, pressuring, coercing social media companies to engage in censorship. Is that constitutional?
That is unequivocally false.
Is what the emails show.
It is unequivocally false, Senator.
You are not pressuring the big tech companies to take down accounts. You are not meeting with them to ask them to censor on your behalf.
That is correct. We are not.
Mr. Secretary, it has been established for years in this country, as you very well know because you're a lawyer, that the federal government may not use private third parties to engage in activities that are unconstitutional. That's exactly what you and this administration are doing. You are leveraging private companies to carry out censorship on your behalf. It's dystopian, but worse than that, it's unconstitutional.
It's also false.
It was not false. That was true. And it was true that they were doing the same thing on Twitter, known as X now. So in a world where they're accusing Trump of being the dictator and being the king, it was in reality them trying to be the dictators and the kings and trying to control what it is that we were allowed to say or the information that we were allowed to consume. It was them. And you know, one thing that I've learned on this journey of this that I call discovering the truth, and I've said this before, but time and time again, whenever Democrats accuse a Republican, mainly Donald Trump, of doing something, in reality, it's them that's doing it. You find that time after time after time again. It's really them. Case in point. You guys remember the case where they had Trump in court because of some, what was it? It was like the Letitia James case. Letitia James case where, you know, he said one, or he allegedly said one thing but did another or whatever, and then later we found out that Letitia James was doing the exact thing that she accused Trump of doing. And then in this case as well, right? They accused Trump of being a dictator and trying to reign over America, but they were trying to do that exact thing and then lying about it, saying, oh, well, no, that's not true. Same way they lied about the border. Yeah, the border's closed, the border's secure, and we're watching videos of people waltzing right across the border. We're watching videos of Border Patrol cutting barbed wire so that people can get through. We're watching it, but they're telling us, no, the border's closed, it's secure. It's almost as if like we're looking at grass and we can see that it's clearly green, but they're telling us it's purple. Don't believe your own eyes. The grass is purple. It's not green. I believe there was a situation like that where like AOC or somebody said, don't believe like the information you see online or something. Wasn't that like AOC or somebody? Bernie Sanders, one of those folks, one of these leftists, far leftists? I believe it was. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know how close we really came. Okay. They were spending money to try to get people banned and did ban a sitting president. If they were willing to ban a sitting president, what do you think they're willing to do to you? Just saying. Just saying. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Show up in the midterms, baby. Peace.